Obviously, I guess the first question here, I guess the most important one was, what was the impetus in moving in this new direction, like to have a solo career rather than keeping Methods of Mayhem alive?
I don't know. It's kind of weird how it came about. I started writing after I got home from with Methods of Mayhem on the 2000 Ozfest. I got home and I don't know. I started writing music and it didn't sound like it was Methods of Mayhem style music. You know, it was just going in a different direction, and I just sort of didn't really question it. Just kept going in wherever it was going to go, and just let it roll. And you know, I think the Methods of Mayhem record, which I would love to do another one again and bring on a bazillion guest stars and have it be, that was pretty much, when I look back now, I look at it like, that was my creative, like, free-for-all. You know, I just got out of Motley, I was like, that's it, doing everything and anything, hip-hop, techno, metal, industrial, you name it. So, I don't know, when I got home after the Ozfest, this just sort of the direction the music started going, it wasn't so eclectic from track to track. And
so you feel a little more focused this time around?
I think so,
you're
yeah.
Heading in a specific direction?
Yeah.
And it's weird, so it's not really a conscious thing, it's kind of,
yeah,
you just kind of evolved into that.
Yeah,
that's
just
pretty,
let it
that's
flow
pretty
wherever
interesting.
the music was going to go.
How did the other guys that were part of Methods of Mayhem, how did they take the idea of you kind of off on your own now?
Well, Marty's still with us.
Right.
My guitar player, Kai, he actually got a record deal with his old band, which I kind of stole him out of his old band. And so he wanted to give it a shot with the guys I guess he grew up with in Canada. So he's doing that. My DJ Arrow, is off probably doing a million parties and doing his thing. And he understood. He was like, yeah, I can hear there's not a lot of scratching. There's a little bit on this track, the David Bowie track, Fame, that we redid. And a little bit here and there, but not enough to warrant bringing a DJ all around the world for a couple of parts. So it just sort of went in that direction. Stephen Perkins, from Jane's Addiction, he's doing a new record with his band, so it just, I don't know, this all just sort of worked out really cool.
Nobody's upset, everybody's happy.
No, everybody's cool. Tilo's working
out.
on some hip-hop stuff. You know, the last time I heard, he was doing some stuff with some of the guys that do Dre's beats, and that's cool. It's awesome.
That's great. That worked out.
Yeah.
That worked out. So what do you think, are you experiencing any kind of new pressures just being Tommy Lee, the solo artist? I mean, because this, obviously, it's not like you're this unknown guy coming out, but now it's just you. People are coming to see you. There's no band name to support.
Yeah. Not really. I mean, it just feels like we're going on a Methods tour or something. You know, it's just like this is what I do. So I don't really feel any extra pressure, really.
Right. Well, that's good. Yeah. That's very good. So
other than the normal pressure.
Right. Of course.
You know, like getting it all together and making it sound really good. You know, so.
Does this new step, obviously this is a new step in your career and it's very significant, does this kind of signify, does this signify a new step in your life as well? Do you feel like it's a turning point in a way?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, every time you make a record, it seems like it's another sort of like a timestamp on where you were at that time. So yeah, maybe. Maybe.
How, in a positive way, I would imagine?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's good. So what do you think the most significant difference has been in recording this new record as compared to even the Motley Crue records or the Methods of Mayhem record?
Probably, I would imagine just there's a lot of pressure because, like in Motley, there was 3 other guys, you know, and everybody's got different input and creative ideas. So you're always sort of compromising. Well, okay, well, yeah, we'll meet halfway on this, or yeah, that's cool, or I don't like that. Where when I was, writing, a lot of the music for this, I didn't really have to ask. It's just like, you know what, I love that, we're doing it. It's like, and it feels good not to sort of second guess yourself and ask somebody else's opinion. It's like, do you like it? Yeah, I love it. Boom, let's do it.
It seems like it's liberating.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody to consult with. Just do what you want to do. That's got to be pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got to feel really good. There's one song on the new record called Body Architect, which you credit the inspiration to a book titled The Wisdom of the Self by Paul Ferrini.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What's the correlation between the book and the song there?
I don't know. That's just like when in reading the book, I just sort of thought, you know what, I gotta write about this because this is cool. Like a lot of people forget, like, and it says it in the chorus that they're the architects of the bodies they inhabit. Like, well, you know, to me that's like, whoa, you know, a lot of people externally searching for religion or externally searching for other things, and it's like, it's all in here, you know? And I'm just, in that song, I really wanted it to sort of remind people, like, hey, you know, you're your own God,
Right.
You're your own inspiration.
So it's
you know?
kind of about taking control, which it kind of ties right into what you're doing with
yeah.
your whole career and everything. So that's
Totally.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And you've got some pretty interesting guests on this record as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Chino from the Deftones and Brandon from
Incubus.
Incubus. How did
Yeah.
that whole come about? How that whole thing come
Both
about?
of those were pretty, well, Incubus was on the Ozfest, so, you know, that's how I met those guys, and they were recording their new Incubus record down the street from my house, which is, you know, about 8 minutes away. They were recording in Malibu, and the guys came up for a beer one day, and I was playing them some of my new stuff, and as soon as they heard the track Blue, Brandon and Mikey were like, whoa, that track's insane, you know, let's work on this one. And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome, you know. So I believe that night, Brandon started singing on it, Mikey played some guitar, and pretty much the same with Chino. He came by the studio one night, and he heard Ashamed, and he was like, man, I want to sing on that, you know. Like, and it's nice to let people sort of pick what they want to sing on, and what they're inspired, you know, to do, instead of like, I want you on this song, you know, and it's like, well, maybe he's not really feeling that song. So both of those happened pretty organically, as in, like, they were attracted to the song, you know, and that's really what matters.
And it must make you feel pretty good that these guys, you know, they're just come by to visit and they're listening to the songs and they react so emotionally to something that they have to be a part of it. That's a very cool thing.
Very cool.
Very cool. Your son did a little cameo on one of the songs as well, right?
Yeah,
How
both
did
of
that?
them.
What happened there? Both your kids. Wow.
I was in my studio. Actually, we were mixing at this lake house, and my kids were out visiting, and I was playing this guitar riff, and my oldest son walks in and he goes, "That's badass, Dad." And when he said that, I was like, "Dude, you got to say it one more time. Come on, here's the mic." And little Dilly, like, he always goes, "Let's rock," always, and he's like throwing up the horns, "Let's rock." So I had to get him on the record, of course.
That's great.
Yeah.
You must be pretty happy to be part of it at this point.
Yeah.
How old are they now? They're
6 in June, and like 4.5, almost 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That is
getting big.
awesome. So you mentioned the song "Fame" a little earlier. That's another song on the track, on the album that you covered from David Bowie, which is a great cover, because you did what I think people that cover songs should do. You made it your own. You
Yeah.
didn't just re-record it.
Yeah.
Why that song though? What's so important about that song?
Man, I've just been like the biggest David Bowie fan forever. He's one of those artists that's like, a chameleon or something. Just every time he does something, he changes colors, or he looks different, or he sounds different. Like, he's not afraid of change, and he goes for it. So I've always like respected that, and plus I love his voice. Fame was probably one of my all-time favorite tunes, and I've heard a couple people redo it, and I was like, man, I got to do this. You know, it deserves a better rip at it. You know.
Is it going to make it into the live set?
Oh, hell yeah.
Right on. I want to get a little off topic here, off the actual album and the tour for now, but I'm just curious. Are you frustrated with the way the media seems to scrutinize your life constantly?
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. Well, how do you deal with that? I mean, how do you get through the day and not just be angry all the time at all this nonsense that you have to read about yourself that probably half of it's not true?
I don't read it, and I don't really pay a lot of attention, but unfortunately sometimes avoiding it for some reason, you can't. Or you see it, or you hear about it, or something, you know. I wear a rubber raincoat, you know, and I let it just roll off of me, man, most of the time. I have it in the car, I keep it with me.